we go.
Hello everyone, this is John with Money on the Floor Currency Trader. Right now we just had a great day trading on Friday, so we did really good. The other thing is I wanted to go over is our new EAs that are out. We have one of them which is Money on the Floor Arrows EA. Now this one is using our new arrow that is in the best locations possible and trending and works the best for all of our robots. That's why once we came out with that, we had to make a robot for it. So the robot, how it works is, if you get an arrow and you're looking for the first two arrows in the session, you're going to see an arrow. You're going to look down and say, are we red and red and red? Yes. And then we take the trade. Now this will take it automatically. You don't need to worry about that. Or you can take it manually. Either way, the idea is that it's going to come on down. And basically we have two types of trades. We're going to have one to the 50 and away from the 50. So this one is coming down to the 50. The reason why is because sometimes it hits the 50, it bounces. Sometimes it breaks. So the idea is that if we go from here up to the 50 and then you get out, and then once you break it and retest, you get back in and you trade it to the next arrow or till it changes color. So it works out really good that way. Or you trade it just down to the 50, which it bounced and went back up, and you would have another trade all the way back up. Works out really nice. So on these arrows, basically you're looking for everything the same color. We have an arrow, everything is red below, you take the trade, it goes on down. As soon as it changes color or it hits the 50, you would exit the trade. Very simple. Nothing hard about that, but the best way to trade this is by looking at the 15-minute chart and possibly taking it on a 5-minute chart. That's fine. Or you can take it on the 15, but sometimes there's a lot of movement inside these candles and it scares people. So it's best to look at the 15 for direction, take it on the 5. Sometimes, actually all the time, I have the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the 15 open so I can see quick movements on the 1 minute. I don't make any decisions. I just see when it's turning. I use the 5 minute to make my decisions, to take my trades, and I use the 15 to help me make my decisions and keep them cleaner, because they all should be going the same way. Because what happens is the trade starts out at the 1 minute, goes to the 5 minute, then goes to the 15. So if you don't see the same thing on all three trades, it's not a very good trade or it's too early. So wait for it to set up on all three. But the idea is that once you get on the 15, now you're set up, so you should be able to see it on the 5 and on the 1, and you're going to take that trade and you're going to run it down to the 50. Very easy. You get out, the next trade sets up, you're going to take that up, and for one session you had two great trades. Worked out really nice. Now you go to the next session, which is New York. New York gave you a trade and it was actually a failure. It moved up and it failed because it turned red right away. So right as soon as you've taken it, this turned red, so you'd probably exit the trade or get out with as tiny bit of profit as possible. Just get out with some type of profit and then wait for the next setup. Now the next setup wasn't, here's an arrow, but see this is green, red, and red, so I wouldn't take that. I'd wait till all three are red, and you're going to have the best chances of making money, because it would have worked there, but this is where the momentum kicks in, and that's what you want. So you had one trade down, worked out nice. Then we had New York. New York was very good trading. Let me move it over a little bit. We had a move down, and then we had a move back up, and then we had a move back down. Then after that it fizzled out. So we actually had three trades in here because it went down. It didn't give us an arrow at the top, but this was such a big trade up and gave a reversal wick and a topping area that if you would have taken it by using close and reverse and then brought it back down, you would have made money. But even if you just did the arrows, you would have made money down, made money up, and you're done. Remember, first two trades. Anything else like over here is going to get you in trouble. You do not want to trade those. So you're going to look at the 15, take them on the 5, and use the 1 just to make sure to keep you calm. That actually might make you scared too because it moves so fast, but I like using it like that. Now this is our basic robot. This one here takes the arrows. It'll take the trade on the arrow. It uses a trailing stop to get it out, or a close, has 3 different close features to get it out. Works out good. So now this is this one. Now the other robot that we have is this one over here, and this is basically the same robot, but instead of taking the trade on the arrow, it takes the trade when everything is all the same color. So what I do is I wait to see, I have this off over here, and I have this on over here. And then what happens is I wait for the arrow. So I'll be looking at the same thing. I'll be looking at the 15 minute. So let's go to the 15 minute. There we go. And let's say we're looking at New York. So New York, we got an arrow right here, right on that. We can mark it. And let's put that on there. Let's see, where's my trend lines? Figures are behind me. How does that work? Okay. Let's get a trend line right here. Let's say we see the arrow. We like that on the 15-minute chart. So we see it. And we look, okay, it's red at the time. We don't see nothing else, so we wouldn't think anything of anything else. So then we'd say, okay, let's go back down to the 5 minute, take a look. Go find that magenta line. And there it is. Oh, I got to push the button on this one too. Where is it? Right there. Okay, got it. So right here's our magenta line, and we say, oh, we already had the arrow. It's already red. Everything is red. It's a great trade, and you can be looking at it on the 1 minute too, which is fine. But either way, you go ahead and turn the robot on. So all you do is come over here and turn this on, and then the trailing stop will kick in. It'll take a trade, and it'll have a really tight trailing stop, and it'll take multiple trades. It'll take on a 5 minute, you can set it up to next open trade after 0, which would mean as soon as the trade closes, it would take another trade. So then what you do, you just let it do its thing until you think you're getting down to a certain area. Like you see it break out through here, you know, looking left, you might have an area here. See, I already had a magenta line here, so I already knew this area was there because this is the range that we're trading. So as soon as I get anywhere near the range, I go ahead and turn it off so it can't take another trade. It won't let me right now, but sorry, it's not on. So it won't let me take another trade. And then what happens is you go ahead and let it finish out, and then it'll finish out the trailing stop, or you can use the close button over here, which works out really good. You just close it and you're done. So it works out good. Let's just take a look at what's on here. So we got the robot here. I think the reason why it's not working is because we are all clicked. Okay. Let's see. And on this one, we go ahead to inputs. Now in here, the main thing you want to look at is the trailing stop. The trailing stop is, where are you hiding? Right here, 100, 5, 50. So it's going to get in at 50 points. It's going to start. It'll move every five increments of points, but it won't start trailing till 100. So basically, you're getting in at first stop, and then every 100 points, you're going to start moving it up. It's very small. It doesn't go very far, but it's able to get in and out and close quickly. So that's the idea of that, and it trails it very fast. And then, so this is our best scalping one. All you got to do is wait, like I said, wait for that magenta line, turn it on, and then just let it start going. As soon as you either got enough money, or you're happy, or you think you're getting down to an ending point, then you just turn the thing off, and then you wait until you get done and you close it. Now it will close on its own. So let's talk about that. It will only take the trade when both are red and the line is red. It has nothing to do with the candles, nothing to do with anything else. The arrows are just a way to tell you that it's working out good. So it will start trailing at that point. It'll start taking trades. Now, and then what happens is, as soon as it gets green and green, which is right over here, it'll stop its trailing. Now, the other thing that it will do is on the opposite arrow, it will stop too. Let's see if we had an opposite arrow. We did not have one on there. So it would have stopped trailing at this point, and then it would stop, and then it would wait. So usually this one didn't do it, but this one here had a close, and then it would right away start taking buy trades. So that's how that would work on this one. Now, sometimes we'll get into a sell situation like this. It'll come down, it'll trade. And as soon as this one here did it too, let's find one that didn't do it. Let's go back here, see if we can find one real quick. So here's one right here. No, got green here. Let's try that one. So right in here, you'd see it, and you would turn it on, and it would start trailing all the way up. And it would just keep trailing. And then you can work it, whether you want it to trail or not trail, by using the buttons. And then once it gets to a certain spot where it's red and red, it will stop trailing on its own. And then it cannot take a trade until both are the same color. Now, this ugly sideways move was both two different colors, so it would not take a trade. So it makes it really good that way. Now, it doesn't work that well on a 1 minute chart like this because there's too many sideways moves, but on a 5 and a 15, probably the 15, you're going to have better chances where you could let it run more without watching it, because it will not trade when it's red and green. It has to be red and red. So right here, it will take a sell trade, and then right away over here where it's green and green, it will exit. Well, actually right away it would exit. So you had a small loss. It would take a trade, small loss, but that's what you want, because when it starts making money, it makes lots of money. So when it gets back into the green trade, it would have made that loss back, plus made more money back in, and then you have red, and it'd still be trailing. It just won't take any more trades on this point, but if it has a trail, it'll still let it go. It will not close it. So it will go all the way up until you get green. All right, we're looking for, we're already on the green, we're looking for red. So we got red here, we would exit this time. Only need the triangle MACD and the red line to exit. You do not need the bottom, but you need the bottom to take it. Works out really good. So like right in here, it would take the trade, and we'll just keep taking multiple trades. You can see in here, I got multiple trades coming up, and as soon as it got red and red, it will stop. But it can't take another trade because it's green at the bottom, not till it's all three green, which is over here, and it would start trailing again, and then it would keep going all the way up. until it got to red and red, which is right over here, and it would stop. But it will not take another trade until it gets to all three red, which is over here, and then it would start trailing back down. So it works out really, really good if it makes any sense for you. So the idea is you got two different robots, both are the same idea. Both are working off the arrows, but the first one takes the trade on the arrow, and then it manages it through the trail. And all of these are going to be trail stops, not break even. There is no break even for these. These are all trail. But this is our super scalper. The other one is our money arrow. So it works out really nice. These are my favorite EAs right now. So if you want an EA that's reliable, that'll help you make money, and I'm always here to help you out if you have any trouble. That's a good thing. That's something you don't get most places. But if you want an EA that will make your life simpler and enjoyable, because there's no stress. I just turn on the 15-minute chart, wait for the trade to set up, and I use the boxes so I know what session I'm in. And I'll just say, okay, the market just opened up, we got the line. Yeah, there was a trade, and you could take that trade as it came up if you wanted to, but sometimes this area here is very aggressive, so do be careful. Sometimes the spread is bigger, but this was a great trade coming up and went all the way up, and then the first trade in the session was down, so you would have had 1, 2 trades. I would have gotten both of these. Matter of fact, that day I think I did, and then I took the third trade in the back here in the back to go back up. So it works out really nice. So you got two robots to work off of, but definitely use your 15 to spot the trade, use the 5-minute to take the trade, and use the 1 minute to watch the trade. Yes, you have to have multiple monitors or a way to do this. Now, I guess you have to have a PC because the indicators don't show on a phone or iPad or anything like that. So you'd have to have a couple monitors so you can move this around. So it works out nice. And you can divide it up in 3 different ones too and move it around and maybe go back and forth, just like right here. You would go back and forth to different ones. It's just more work, that's all. But anyway, thank you so much. Let's make money in the markets. These things are killing it for me. Oh, I wanted to go over the trade that we had today. In Friday, this is Friday here, so we had the nice trade all the way down. And then here we traded it all the way back up, and I posted it in our Telegram. So if you saw it in there, it worked out really nice. But it was great trading, and this EA made it so easy and fun. So if you're looking for easy and fun, this is the EA for you. All right, again, thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.